If you're short on time, here's the verdict. The Neewer CB100 and CB150 are budget-friendly, continuous video lights that can benefit any photographer or videographer looking to upgrade a set of old lighting equipment, or to offer a better starting point for those of you looking to make your first purchase when it comes to quality, flicker-free studio lights. The build quality is robust and the lights are bright enough to stack up against some of the well-established competitors in today's market. Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is your host Mellow, and I encourage you to stay for the full in-depth review of these newer lights. We'll be going over the specifications, the pros and cons, and whether or not, in my opinion, I think this would be a good addition to your ever-growing vast collection of camera gear. Stay tuned. With SmallRig announcing their intro into the studio lighting game, I personally find that exciting that new options are becoming available to us each and every day. From staples such as Aperture to fan favorites such as Godox, the competition is fierce. However, today's focus will be on a company that seems to go underneath everyone's radar when it comes to this department. Neewer. Known typically for their craftsmanship when it comes to batteries, LED light panels, and the focus for today's video, continuous mono lights. Here I have the Neewer CB100 and the Neewer CB150. Let's go ahead and take a closer look at what's inside the box. Both lights are packaged in the same manner and contain the same contents. Upon opening the box, the outer layer will reveal the remote, a manual, the power cable. The inner layer will contain the reflector and the unit itself with a protective cap on it. Now unfortunately there is no zip-up carrying case like what some of the other competitors may offer. However, the box does at least have a handle, so it can offer some form of protection if you decide to travel with it. There are some contrasting opinions from other YouTubers who have reviewed either the CB100 or the CB150 in regards to its build quality. Some deeming it cheap, while others titling it robust. I would have to agree with the statement that when it comes to the lights, they're built pretty well, mainly being comprised out of a heavy-duty plastic and some aluminum. I would even go as far as saying that in terms of the build quality, in my opinion, these are going to stack up a lot better in comparison to my current light, the GVM SD 200D. And that light's about twice the price point. Do consider that because these lights are robust, it does contribute to the weight of them being a little bit heavier. Coming in at about 4.41 pounds for the CB100 and 6.92 pounds for the CB150. I personally have always been a big fan of the displays that Neewer use in its lighting fixtures. And for the CB100 and CB150, this is no exception. The displays are bright yet easy to distinguish. The dials are smooth to control yet stay in place for precise adjustments. Both lights can be adjusted from 1% to 100% when using the dials on the fixture themselves, while on the remote it's 10% to 100% in increments of 10, which I find kind of interesting. If you press and hold the dial, it allows you to adjust the temperature that measures the internal heat of the unit. When compared to my current light in regards to display and the dial quality, I would still say that both of these are going to be a lot better than my current setup. So points to Neewer in that regard. The power cable provides enough length to allow this light to be placed in numerous configurations, and thick enough to handle most type of unexpected accidents. As mentioned before, there is an included remote. I personally will not be utilizing it, so it'll stay in the box, but I can understand with certain light setups where lights can be mounted to the roof or in higher than normal placements. This is vital for easier control and adjustments on the fly. Spoiler alert, they're bright. The CB100 and CB150 are 5600 Kelvin daylight balanced lights with a CRI TCLI rating of 97 plus. Now, how accurate are those values? It's tough to call since I do not have the proper equipment to measure that. Sorry. The primary difference between both of these lights are noted in the model number, one of them being 100 watts and the other being 150. As you'll see from this example, we increased the light's brightness from 1% to 10% to 50% and finally at 100%. This output can be enhanced by attaching the provided reflector. Both lights have a built-in Bowens mount, which is standard to mono lights of this style, and can further enhance the lighting output with modifications and accessories such as softboxes and other fixtures. Now, depending on the studio environment that you work with, this can be crucial because unwanted sound can affect the video making process. Provided is the noise level of the CB100 and the CB150, and I'll let you be the judge. I will not be adding any post-processing to the audio or any type of noise reduction to this segment, just so you can get an idea of the raw sound that these lights output. For reference, we recorded the audio using the Cinco mic D1, which is a boom microphone. So do factor that into the audio output. But to me, the CB100 and CB150 are impressively quiet. To no surprise, they are a lot more silent than my current lighting fixture over here, the GVM SD200D. All three lights pose no real distraction to my own setup over here, with the camera being about 1 foot away from the light source. So I would say that when it comes to the noise level, they are not distracting enough to render your footage useless. Now, if you were to ask me and I had to summarize all the points that I found positive when it comes to both of these lights, it would be like this: the light quality, the build quality, and surprisingly, the aesthetics of the light. The lights are really bright, and compared to some older LED panels that I used to use in my own lighting setup, these beat them tenfold. The build quality is robust, and I don't understand why people would say that this is cheap. And maybe it's my untrained eye, I'm not too sure, but to me, these are durable enough. Any light will fall at a certain height and break. Keep that in mind. You know, most of us filmmakers and videographers take care of our equipment. So finally, when it comes to the aesthetics, I don't know, I'm a big fan of the look. That's more of an opinion there, but I would still stick with the first two being the brightness and the robustness of the product. As with all things, no item is perfect. And if I had to point out a shortcoming of these lights, it would be this. When it comes to the locking mechanism, surprisingly, it can't support a lot of weight. I believe this is due because of the Bowens mount being a little thinner compared to some of the competitors out there. What I mean by this is I have a 36-inch parabolic softbox, And when I mounted it to the Neewer CB100 and 150, the weight would just naturally have this start to slide down no matter how much I tighten that locking mechanism. So keep that in mind. I'm pretty sure you'll be a-okay with standard soft boxes, maybe even anything under the 22 inches. But you do want to factor that if you have heavier set fixtures, it could affect the performance of these lights here. At the time of filming this video, the Neewer CB100 and CB150 come in at the retail value of $180.99 and $209.99. Now hold up, I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, that's pretty pricey. Like, where's the value, Mellow? And to answer that, I say true. Now, if you pick these up through Amazon and you keep them saved in your cart so you can monitor them, these lights are constantly going on sale. And I picked up both of these brand new for $126.99 and $140.99. Compare that to the lower wattage version of the SL60W that retail at $139 even. Ladies and gentlemen, that is where the value is at. Newer, up-to-date lights, higher output at around a $10 difference, if not lower than the 60-watt model. As someone who is not a professional by any means and who has used inexpensive soft boxes and LED panels for their early videographer career, let me tell you, if you invest in some quality continuous video lights, these are a night and day difference. The Neewer CB100 and CB150 are ready to accommodate any type of project, whether it's, hey, talking head videos like this one, product reviews, or paid client work. But don't take my word for it, give them a try, and if you do, let me know how that experience went for you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are at the conclusion of today's video. I would like to say thank you so much for staying tuned until the end. It's always a blast making these videos for all of you out there. If you have any recommendations, any lights you would like me to review, or any products for that matter, let me know down below. I would love to hear your input. Beyond that though, this is Mellow, and I will catch you all in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.